Greetings, champion parents. Welcome back to Mommy Talk. As always, we are real, relatable. We have Dr. Pert. I am Miss Lisa, and we have Miss April.
Hi.
And we are blessed today to have 3 additional and beautiful champion parents. We have Charlene Ward.
Hi.
We have Khalifa Jones.
Hello.
And we have Yolanda Peoples.
Hi.
Yolanda, you know, I was getting ready to say Yolanda Adams. I'm like, oh my God. I got some gospel on my brain today. So we're blessed to have these 3 champion parents here with us today. This is our special COVID-19 alert edition because there are some things going on around our city, around our world. There's a lot of talk about sending kids back to school. In fact, there are schools that are already in session for summer school. And we just have a simple question. Are you ready for your kids to go back to school? If we have any of our viewers listening, please feel free to post questions in the thread. We'll answer them the best we can. And so first, we're going to go ahead and get right into it. We want to introduce our guests and allow them to say a few words about themselves and, you know, where they are right now. So we're going to start with Charlene Ward. If you could give our viewers something to listen to.
So I am Charlene Ward. I am a proud parent of 3 wonderful children, one of which just graduated from Southeastern High School out of DPS, whoop, whoop, whoop. And I have a junior that goes to Mercy High School. I also have a 23-year-old, but we don't talk about him. But no,
he grown.
He's grown, but he goes to Wayne State. He's a junior. And he also just got a great new job getting out the progressive vote. So I'm very excited for him.
Okay. Kudos. All right.
Oh. Is there something else to say? And I'm a parent advocate, of course, and I also work with data analysis, and I'm a lab technician.
Okay. Awesome.
Okay, I'm Yolanda Peoples. I am a parent of a DPS student at King High School. He's a senior this year, will be graduating in 2021. I also have a daughter who graduated from DSA in 2013. She's currently working full-time out of my pockets. Yay! Very happy about that. Yeah, so I'm a parent advocate. I am state employee. I'm a DPS graduate myself. So I'm very active in the school system. I'm the president of the PTA at King High School. And I have been actively involved with my children since they started DPS. Amen. Where they go, I go.
Amen.
Champion parents.
Well, okay. My name is Khalifa Jones, and I have 4 children, and I have 2 that graduated last year. Well, actually this year, I have 11th grader, and I have a 4-year-old who would have started preschool this year. But due to everything that's going on, she won't be going. I'm a homemaker, and I've been a homemaker for the last 20 years.
Nice.
She's a wonderful artist as well. Wonderful photographer. And arts and crafts. She's wonderful.
That's nice.
Beautiful. So that's good. Look, here you go. Let me take note of that. We'll be contacting you again. As you hear, we have 3 champion parents, and I just wanted to just clarify what we mean by champion parents, because we are all champion parents, and based on that, our way is a great way. We're not going to try to fit in with other parents. We are just going to embrace the parents that we are, but also understand, and it looks like, hello. Okay, is it good? It looked like I was frozen.
Yeah, you're freezing just a little.
Can you guys?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you. We just freezing.
I thought y'all was doing a dance routine. Okay, because I thought everybody was doing a dance routine and didn't tell me about it. So basically, a champion parent is a parent that we know we're not perfect, but we work every day to do the best we can, and we continue to try. We reinvent ourselves all the time. Just trying to adapt to what our children are doing and growing into and all that good stuff. Question. We're talking about today, again, in COVID-19 and a restart of schools prematurely. And so what are your concerns about school starting prematurely, basically?
Well, I want to say that my concern is by my child being so young, her wearing a mask all day. That was one of the things that kind of alarmed me. And their class size, because last year they had 10 kids in their class, and the class is not big enough. Mm-hmm. So if you start to separating and making, and the school that she would have gone to, it starts at pre-K all the way to 8th grade. So they have to separate all these students. So, and I have heard that them being the age that they are, they're not a huge concern about their health risks because of their age, because it's affecting the older. But my question was, who say that my child is not asymptomatic? Who say that I don't want her to be that one that proves everybody wrong, that she gets sick and then she brings it home to me. So absolutely. By me being a stay-at-home mom, I've gone through that. I've gone through where my kid had a stomach bug and they brought it home from school and everybody in my house had a stomach bug. So that's a big concern to me. And that's why I decided to homeschool her. Mm-hmm. And I was like, preschool is not mandatory. So I was like, it's pretty, self-explanatory. You let them play, you do some educational things throughout the day. And I was like, this is not difficult because I've done it before with my 2 oldest. Mm-hmm. But I was like, I wanted her to socialize. Yeah. And that's the part I feel like she's missing, because even if she went, they can't really socialize like a 4-year-old would have.
Right.
So, and that's my huge concern. Yeah. Is like, how do you do that? How do you tell a 4-year-old to wear a mask all day, even if they told them that they didn't have to wear it all day? But they're going to be touching each other. They're going to be playing with each other.
Right.
So
So my take is, even for a high school student, it's going to be difficult to wear that mask all day. It's going to be difficult for them not to want to interact with their friends, with their classmates, with their the usual day that they've had prior to this pandemic, being able to touch each other, being able to play sports, being able to be in the same room with each other, even. So now we're having to help them understand how to be safe and to rationalize why it's important to do these things, but it's still very difficult to do. I can't wear a mask all day right now. And as a survivor of COVID, somebody who has respiratory issues, it's even more difficult. And the amount of students who have asthma, which is a respiratory condition, consider that impact with wearing that mask all day.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
to me, my hot button right now is VD allowing the schools to open, and how trying to have face-to-face summer school when they didn't do anything as far as industrial cleaning, as far as putting up barriers or protective conditions in the schools. They're not trying to isolate the children or like make the classroom smaller. They say there are only 2,000 students that were supposed to go face to face, but really only 500 or less showed up. Some of the bus drivers quit the same day that they were supposed to start. So as a bus is running through my neighborhood, I get up in the morning, every morning, to see how many children are on the bus. I haven't seen any child on that bus. I don't know where this bus is going, but it's supposed to be going to a school. I'm assuming Remus Robinson, or but my frustration is whatever his decision making was, it wasn't for the safety of our children. He did not consider that at all, because there were no precautions taken as far as industrial cleaning, as far as plexiglass, as far as having the mask available at the school, because every child that comes there is not going to come prepared to be safe. So will the school provide masks every day?
Every day. 2 or 3 masks.
Yeah, every day. They're not going to do that.
They're not.
And let me
children
add,
don't even have to be tested to come into the school, just the teacher.
Yeah. And so I'm going to add to that, Yolanda, because there was a situation, I'm not sure what school or what district this situation in, but there was a screenshot that was going around where the teacher had sent the student to the office to get more masks, and they sent the child back, and they gave the child a hard time about trying to get extra masks. And I'm like, wow, and this is only just the beginning,
Right.
And I had a situation where I was helping give out, pass out materials. Now I'm not doing summer school, but I was just volunteering my time. And a parent that came to the door and didn't want to wear a mask. And I'm just like, wow, and that leaves you feeling vulnerable, because you can't get aggressive with the parent. And there were no, of course, no officers, so it's just, it just kind of leaves you open to think like, wow, this is only the beginning.
Right. So if that parent doesn't believe in wearing a mask, they're not going to endorse their child wearing one, or support their child to wear one, and then the whole problem starts all over again. Yeah. And so our young children, they are touchy feely. They share things. They're sharing germs all day. How do we keep our babies that want touch, that need that touch for their growth, for their stimulation, to not impact each other like that? Mm-hmm. How do we enforce that and keep them safe? We have to keep them at home.
Yeah, we have to keep them at home, and I just feel that the resources that they are using, the resources for propaganda, for advocating, students to return to school, all those funds and additional funds could be used towards making sure that food goes to every student's house, because I know one of the things that was raised was a lot of the children in the district go to school for clean water, for to have those meals, just to be in a heated building, a heated facility. And those we during the pandemic, instead of getting those students into the schools, we could redirect funds into making sure that their home situation is more improved, where they could study at home.
Okay, so that's actually going to be the next question I was going to ask, but I want to remind our viewers, first of all, thank you, those out there, thank you for chiming in. Please, if you have any questions or concerns, put them in the live thread and we will share them. And if you have questions, we'll try to answer, to the best of our abilities. please feel free to share. So yeah, Charlene, I definitely agree. And so that was, like I said, that was gonna be the next question. So we know we have concerns about, this mask. We talked about touching our face, and the young ones touching their face and not thinking, well, we're grown, and I know I touch my face. I'm probably a little more cognizant of it because of COVID, but I still have to, don't do that. So we have the concern about touching our face or taking off the mask. Some of these masks, especially the ones that the young ones are getting, some of these aren't like really good to have on all day. You have some masks with the shield on the inside that moves as you breathe. Those are uncomfortable. I think the ones that kind of, kind of protrude away from your face, that has more of a cup like feature, I think those may be a little bit more safer. But let's be honest, most of our kids are not going to have those masks. And I guarantee the ones that are given to the schools aren't going to be that way either. So anyway, the question was, what do you feel would be necessary to open schools? Like what should be happening?
I think we should see a leveling out of new cases over at least a 21-day, 28-day period, just like they're saying nationally. Then you could consider how to go about cleaning the buildings, how to go about preparing the buildings, thinking about the class sizes. I gave a suggestion to Dr. Vitti when I told him in great detail how disappointed I was in his decision to open the school. Here's this man who has a PhD, but he's not using any of it at all. He may as well have had a GED and just said, okay, we're gonna open the schools because we need the kids to go. He didn't consider anything. So in this letter to him, I pointed out, I don't want to just be a parent who sits around and complains. I'm not from the B&M situation, the bitch and moan. I come with a solution. So if you want to send the kids back to school, first you got to have industrial cleaning all over the school, and then consider how to implement that daily. Because as the children come and go, you still have to re-clean every day. Just because I get a test last week doesn't mean I can't contract the disease next week.
Right.
Yeah.
And I applaud you for, I applaud you for writing Vitti and taking the initiative to, even write and engage and give him, factual feedback.
Thank you. Yeah, all the time. He knows who I am because I'm writing him all the time. But my suggestion for him at the high school level, I can't really conceptualize how to do it for the younger children because they're so touchy-feely.
Yeah.
But the older kids, if we had 2 grades in the buildings, Mondays and Wednesdays, and then 2 other grades, so 9th and 10th, Monday and Wednesday, 11th and 12th, Tuesday and Thursday, and then at home on Friday. So you get that ability to separate the grades, make the smaller classrooms, because the building can be separated and broken down because you have less than half of the students in there.
And let me reiterate that model that she just said would be after we see a flattening of the curve. So we start implementing that after the curve start going down. So having an adjusted schedule like that would be meaningful after the curve has gone down. So we always have to iterate. And also, I wanted to say that Vitti, out of all the meetings that I've heard that he has been in, he still has yet to meet with the Association of Black Doctors over at Wayne State that constantly are saying to him that they need to meet with him. He may not understand the adverse and prolonged effects of putting kids back into school too soon during the pandemic. So he has not met with them at all.
No, he's probably not going to. And I also addressed that in my letter to him, because I asked him, we're surrounded by medical professionals. How many of them did you even reach out to and talk to before making this decision?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're not an expert in the medical field.
Right.
And to me, he's not even an expert in the educational field because of the decisions that he's making. He can't even put safety first. So why am I surrendering my child to him?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I have a question.
This is when parents have to step in and say, wait a minute, I can't not support this, so my child is not going.
I have a question. What's the purpose of the survey if none of your concerns on the survey is answered?
Well,
right.
Good question.
If you think that you are the person who can answer every question and have a response that people will accept, why do you even have to consider what somebody else thinks? You go through the motions to put the survey out there to say, well, I provided the parents an opportunity, and I just responded to the ones that stated they wanted it. Because he didn't even address.
And I've been hearing that from different people because there's been issues with a couple of surveys coming from different districts where parents are saying that where the information that's being put out is different from what you're hearing a lot of parents say. And this is the reason why, Dr. Purd and Ms. April and myself wanted to do this, because we want to get the take like from different parents, because you do have those parents out there, they work in these dead-end jobs and they're being threatened at their jobs, and they are just they want to
have a lot of support at home, and so they say, okay, I have to go to work, my child is too young to stay at home by themselves. They will be safe at school because they have, the other adults there. I can't concern myself about the COVID right now because this is the situation we're in. So I have to deal with that.
And that's a potential spread.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know as a parent how to address that if you don't have a good sound support system at home so that you can make some different choices. Lucky for me and my family, we have a good support system in place.
Ooh, them people.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, we do it for the peoples.
So we, my situation is very different. So I can take a stance to something else.
Look, I can count on your parents, Yolanda.
So I have a job that they threaten me, but I get sick leave and vacation time that I can utilize. So it gives me a little more flexibility than the person who may be working a job that doesn't have that. So I'm not pointing fingers at parents who feel like that's their only option. All I'm saying is to our schools, if there are parents out there that are going to require this service, then you better be on your P's and Q's and get those buildings clean and come up with a way to continue to do so if the children are going to have to come there.
Yeah.
But mine is not going anywhere.
Yeah, parents definitely have to be more vocal. I think that over the years, especially being in education, Dr. Pert and Ms. April, we're all educators as well as parents. And I think over the years, we have all witnessed just the down spiral of parents feeling the power of control that they have. And I think there's a disconnect sometimes because of when they come into the schools and maybe some treatment that they get to schools. But you have some parents that say, hold on, I know what my rights are. But you have some parents that shy away, because we that community involvement in the schools like we used to, but I see it slowly coming back. And so again, you know, we have parents have to understand the power that they have a voice.
Right.
You know, you got to stand up, and believe me, when you stand up, believe me, somebody else is going to stand with you. You know, you have to be the one to light that fire, you know.
Right.
And I like what you said, Yolanda, about, because we definitely don't want to shame parents that feel that they had to do certain things, but that's something, you know, to think about in the future, you know, being able to have that support for those who have no support, you know, about this village.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, the school is supposed to be our partner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So when I say stand up for your children, I don't mean beat down on the school system.
That's right.
I don't mean beat down on the teachers. What I mean is partner with them.
Yeah.
If this is a partnership that you want to grow and your children are going to stay at this school, then they have your children all day.
Yeah.
You need to know who's coming in and out of that building.
Yeah.
You need to know what the process is to get stuff done. You need to be a part of it. And you can't do that when you're trying to fight them for, you know, stuff that is not as important as making sure that they're safe and they're getting an education.
Absolutely.
So I also have a question. Not necessarily a question, but it is a happening. I just wanted to comment on a happening that I've been observing among a lot of my friends are also educators, and they've asked me to be a witness for the updates on their wills.
Mm.
They are being forced to go back to school, and they are literally afraid for their lives. And on more than one occasion, they have asked me to be a witness on their wills. And so this is a whole nother level to the children returning to school that as parents, we also need to consider. And that is the well-being and the mindset of the teachers that are being forced to return to the classroom, and that dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been heartbreaking. I've cried with them. I have hugged virtually, you know. But it's a real consideration. It's when I'm telling you, as much as I have had loved ones succumb to the virus itself, it really hit when you have your friends, you know, preparing for you know, an onslaught of death. You know what I'm saying? So
there's so much that's not known about this, and when things are not known, you have to prepare for the worst.
You have to.
Of it. So, in my perception, lack of preparation means that either you don't take this seriously, or you don't care about the health and welfare of the people that you're sending in these buildings.
Right.
Either way, it's not a good outcome.
You have to come to that conclusion. And then the fact that you're having all these meetings virtually through Zoom or whatever app that's available means that you don't feel that it's safe enough to even meet in person.
For 2 hours.
So why would you send children back to school? All these
children are supposed to go to DPS school. I wonder, is he going to send his children to summer school?
Ladies, so one of our champion parents that's listening now just wrote in And so they said, I agree that we need to do something, but every scenario won't work for all, which is the land of the law. Everyone won't be happy. I think it needs to be straight virtual for the first semester. This time now should concentrate on training teachers more for online teaching, usage of Teams, using different measures for all courses. What do you all think about that?
And clarify Teams, Dr. Pert, because everyone doesn't use Teams.
Microsoft Teams, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Teams is a virtual platform that Detroit Public Schools Community District is currently using right now. And that's how students access their online curriculum via Teams. And that's how the teachers and staff and admin work right now via Teams.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, the students need to obtain or get hold of all their equipment. They still have not done that yet. There are students that are still picking up their devices. Now,
Right.
these devices are supposed to come loaded with 6 months of internet. So that will take us through December. So keeping the children at home from now until then will be more than appropriate once everybody picks up their device, but it's only based on count day. So if your child was not in school count day for March 2020, they're not getting a device anyway.
Wow.
Now let me ask you that, is that truly the case? Like, would they have to been in would they have been in school? Was that the determining factor?
That was the determining factor. When I talked to the person from the IT department, and it's on the website, the DPSCD website, the determining factor that, because that's how the seniors were able to still get their tablets, because if they were in school during count day, then they can still get their tablets.
Okay.
It's based on the count day. They said that was the best way for them to determine.
Yeah. In our PTA meeting, the principal at Timothy School expressly said that. So he made it a point to let us know that we needed to have our children there on count day in order to receive those tablets.
Okay.
I think as a champion parent, we all have what is called choice. I think that at the end of the day, we can make our own decisions when it comes to our children. If you're not happy with a certain school district, then you can take your child to attend another school district. I think that if we feel that one district is not taking the safety of our children seriously, then we have a choice. I think right now, as you ladies are saying, it's serious times right now. And I think that people really have to think about their situation and what they feel most comfortable with doing. That's what I truly feel. And as a parent, I know for me, I'm not sending my child back to school just yet because I don't feel comfortable. And at the end of the day, that decision is not based on what a school district is saying. It's based on me as a champion parent saying that, hey, if I put my child back out into the world so soon and something was to happen to them, I would never be able to forgive myself.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I want to, so I'm kind of going a little political here, just a tiny bit. So there's groups of people and there's people, so when we're talking about the mask, there's groups of people that feel like their rights are being violated, because they have to wear masks. And I'm trying to understand, and it kind of triggered that thought, Ms. Dr. Pert, after what you just said, because one of the arguments, one of the debates that I had was that COVID doesn't harm children. And we know based on recent studies, that, of course, is a lot that does harm children. But again, you have to think about not just the children, as you all pointed out earlier. It's not just the children; it's the children, but it's who they come in contact with. But I guess I'm trying to just get an understanding of why the two different groups, or is it three different groups? It might be three different thought processes. But there's groups that feel different about the mask. So do you think that that's more political, or do you think that's really based on their?
Well, let me chime into that to answer that. So we know that the president of the United States has decided one way, and it's his idiocy has spread. What I say to people that do not want to wear a mask, I said to them, do you know how far a sneeze can travel? The longest distance a sneeze has traveled is 15 feet. Yep. A good sneeze can travel 15 feet, okay? Yep. And that's well beyond the 6 feet that's been mandated by the state of Michigan, yes. Okay? Yep. So when you tell me that you don't want to wear a mask and you're fine with sharing droplets, I say then everybody is the king of their household. Stay home.
Right.
When you go out, you wear a mask because you're not the king of all you survey outside. You're just the king of what you survey in your house.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that's my take. We as a country have moved so far away from listening to scientists and the medical community on this issue, and that is the only reason why we have the problem that we have, because it is systemic ignorance of basic science. And to say that you don't want to wear a mask is extremely selfish. It is the most selfish thing that you could ever do during a pandemic. Okay.
I want to take a look at it from this approach. So on Nextdoor, we had a couple of people talking about petitioning Gretchen out of the office. And I'm like, okay, I can listen to that because I don't like everything she's doing. But they want to petition her out of office because she has taken a stance to implement the emergency manager law. But these same groups of people said absolutely nothing when that emergency manager law was implemented on Detroit Public Schools for years. And the state of Michigan they still owe the Detroit Public Schools over $3 billion, and everybody was okay with that. These same group of people that don't want emergency management to step in and say, you got to wear this mask, but it was okay for the sitting governor, Granholm and Snyder, to say, oh, we're going to go and take over Detroit Public Schools, even though it wasn't in bankruptcy or anything like that. It was no reason for them. It still could have been under local control, but they supported that decision. So you can't have it both ways. Either it's good for the people or it's not good for the people. But you can't just pick and choose when to use it, when to
implement it. And this virus does not care about your feelings. It doesn't care about how you're feeling that day. If you're feeling real healthy, doesn't really care about that. No. If you are susceptible to getting it, you will get it. Okay. And so the things that we put in place, like wearing the mask, the social distancing, making sure that you're not going into public places as much as you normally would. What you say? Right. And so those are some of the basic things that you could possibly do in a pandemic. And people are just not looking back at history. The bubonic plague, people were dying from pneumonia and all these diseases that we don't consider lethal today were extremely lethal back in the day. And why? Why is that? And that's because they use exactly, and they use science. They use science to battle that. And the fact that the president of the United States has a COVID task force is humiliating. It's humiliating because he does not follow anything the task force has laid out. Dr. Fauci is an eminent leader in infectious diseases, and he is being made to look like a fool. It is upsetting.
The majority of the people, I think majority of the people with sanity understands that Fauci is he's reliable. He has served
every
yes, he has.
Head of infectious disease. He has served under every president since he has been in his position. And the fact that he is being made to look like a fool is first of all, is hurtful to his family. He has a great family, and it is just it's just a window into what that administration thinks and feels about science and medicine.
Yep. So I just wanted to.
Can I ask a question?
Oh, go ahead.
Just a real quick question. I just want to know. So, say for example, they came out with a vaccination. Would you a vaccine? Would you all let your children get it?
Nope, I wouldn't.
And I'm telling you,
working on the vaccination. They got a couple of companies who are competing and are actually testing people.
The first phase of the vaccine, I will not be taking. I'll let my my non-colored brothers and sisters take that first. We know about history. We know about the Tuskegee Project.
Boys and all
we
that
know
stuff,
we know about Henrietta Lacks. We know about the experiments they would do on the homeless. Okay, so we know all about that, and so you're not gonna get me with the first phase of the vaccine. I'll wait for phase 2 or 3. Thank you very much.
So let me give a quick shout out to our, I just want to get a quick shout out to our viewers, champion parents and viewers. Again, thank you for your support. Thank you for chiming in. And so Mr. Is it Queehill? I hope I'm saying it right. He said he's not doing it on the first round.
I hear you, Mr. Hill.
Yes, I'm just giving a quick shout out to Ebony Powell, Lavette Renee, Nicole Davis, Nicole Corbin, Juliana Marie, Clinton Dunham. Let's see. I hope I'm not. Rashia Barnes says, hey, Miss Card. Hey, Miss Card. That's one of our old students. Let's see.
Was a ESA teacher.
You said who?
Miss Braxton.
Oh, hey, Miss Braxton. Yes, hi, Miss Braxton. And who did I miss? I hope I didn't miss anybody. So thank you all for, he said his babies, or his babies for that matter. He not doing it, neither will his babies. Amen. We get so just quickly, first of all, I just want to thank everybody for coming in. This is the first of many conversations, and this will not just be a conversation. We are actually, we actually have plans behind this. So I just asked, again, I just thank you for being here. So do you have any final thoughts or final suggestions, final feelings? Because y'all so fired up and full of energy. I love our viewers.
So final thoughts. Think about considering to send your children out in the world once the curve has fallen for a consecutive amount of days. We can't just wait a week. We can't just wait 2 weeks. That's not enough. I would say a month. 28 days for me is like, okay, yeah, maybe we can step back out here and try this. Mm-hmm. But if there's no heavy industrial cleaning, I'm not talking about the regular maintenance and janitorial staff that were cleaning the buildings every day. I'm talking about suited up, getting those windows, getting those handles, those very common areas. If they're not doing that daily and in between, I mean all day. If the kids are on the break, you need to be cleaning. If they're in the classrooms, you need to be cleaning the hallways, cleaning the lockers, going over everything. I mean, just really, really getting down to it. Then why send our children to it? Because they're not going to be safe. And putting on gloves, they're going to touch their faces. They're going to touch their eyes, their nose, their mouth. They're going to touch their clothes. And so then when they come home, you're going to have to strip them at the door. Everything is going to have to come off when they're outside. You have to put it in the bag like they just went to a hazmat party. And who wants to do that?
Right.
So my take is, first of all, we need more parents to start speaking up against BD, sending our kids to summer schools. Say no, it should go 100% virtual. 100% virtual through the fall, and put some more stuff in place. Because our schools are not ready.
And coming, my last thought is just listen to reason and listen to your instinct. We have to trust our instincts, especially when it comes to our children. We see the cases all over the United States are rising. Not only are they rising, but they are spiking. And there's be no end in sight. And because of that, just simply because of the increase, the extraordinary increase in the cases of COVID, we need to keep our children safe and at home. You need to be safe. Wear masks, social distance. If you can do more than 6 feet, okay? Stay out of public places, okay? Just practice your instincts. Practice your instincts. They are there for a reason, okay? We have to, if we can all do this together, we will see the curve drop again and stay that way, okay? Just let's all listen to our instincts, listen to reason.
Well, my final word would be, you as parents, I agree with Yolanda. You have to speak up. You can't just sit by and hope that someone makes the decision for you and for your family. And you have the voice. And don't give your power to someone else. And you see that they're not answering your questions. The answers that they're giving you does not meet up to what you want. You have to demand what you want. Now, if you're in a situation where you have to go to work, if you have to, this is your living, this is what you have to do, because I'm blessed. The Lord has blessed me to be able to stay at home with my children. And not everyone can say that. And since you're not that person that can say that, you have to speak up and say, wait a minute, this is not right. This is what I expect. And these surveys are being taken, masks handed out, temperatures taken, things like that. I understand no one's gonna be happy. Everything you can't do, you can't say everything is gonna make everybody happy. But you need to know that your voice is heard. Don't sit back and be like, well, I don't like this, and sit at your house and complain about it. You need to speak up. And if they have a way that they can have all the kids stay at home and do virtual, and you have that ability to do that, then you should do it. You should have been planning that the day that they left school the first day.
Right.
You can't assume that, oh, everything is going to be fine. Oh, it's going to get hot. And then, oh, this is going to go away. Now, what if come December and it's just as bad as it is right now? It's still in phase 4, according to the governor. So what do? You complain? You just keep it to yourself? No, you have to talk to your family. That's the first thing I did with my girls. I talked to my kids and asked them how do they feel? What do they thinking about? Because I have to send my college kids out. I have to because they have online classes. Yes, they have in-person classes, but I take them to the store. I let them see, this person's coming in the store. Like you said, wear your mask, but some people don't.
Right.
So you have to be that parent to teach your children, because everybody's not going to do what's right. And you have to teach them right.
Thank you.
She's usually the quiet person. She's usually the quiet person. This COVID got her all amped up.
What's that?
Charlene.
This girl is on fire.
And Yolanda, she's always been a quiet threat.
Never see me coming.
You don't. Your voice is so calming and soothing. You like.
Yes.
Yes. Very, very powerful.
I'm sorry, Dr. Perk. I just want to, I know you about to wrap it up. I just want to just quickly add, you all have been such an inspiration. I love you to pieces. It's funny because I was thinking, I said Charlene and Yolanda. I was like, yeah. You know, I've seen you over the years. These are.
Did say a couple of years ago, right, Charlene?
Well, we have had.
Yes, when I say these are like the parents advocates, the children advocates, the good people advocates. And when Charlene told me about Caleetha, I didn't even ask any other questions. I was like, yeah, come on, let's do it. I really appreciate your wisdom, like over the years, and just even today, everything that you said and the passion, and it's coming from a real place, and Khalifa, I love it, that charge for parents to speak up and, and not just, we have to stop like just letting things happen. And that's just been a whole, 2020 has just been a eye-awakening experience of how, or example of how over the years we like, well, yeah, how they are, this is what they do. But I love that we're coming together and we're saying not, we're not doing this anymore. It's time to make a change. We have to stop. Speaking of like just real quickly with the schools and the things that's going on, should we open? And it's like, no, because we were already going through building and certain issues prior to this. This is just another, issue that has come about. So we definitely do, parents, we do have to speak up. And I think it's important that we talk about this village. You're not the only parent who may not have support. So we have to figure out a way to start communicating with each other and reach out to the next parent who may not have support, and y'all become a family together or something.
Right. So like Lisa and I, our kids were at Spain at the same time. And Charlene and I had kids at DSA. So if I couldn't get there, I know I could call them because they were picking their kids up too. So sometimes it's not your family, it's your family, like it's your village. And I'm not saying throw your children off on anybody. You have to vet these people very well. Don't just let your children go with anybody. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is once you vet that person and you see the type of parent they are, if they think like you, their children are involved in things and they're busy and they're safe, then you can reach out and say, look, we think alike, our children are in some of the same things. Can we work out a plan? Can we work out a system? But you don't just reach out to anybody, please.
Right. And I'm looking at the faces here, and Caleetha, don't worry because your time may be coming, but I'm looking. I say everybody here has watched my children. Everybody has had my children. So the village, I appreciate my village. That's right. And we definitely, you all just quickly, we have to get out and vote. We have to vote. The census window is still open. People are not completely census because their thought is that, let me just finish this real quick, because the thought is that I don't want the government in my business. Guess what? The government in your business,
already
go through this extra formality to give you an excuse as to why your neighborhood can't get the resources that you need. So fill out your census so that you can help your community out. That's just, if you don't fill it out, that's just the government's excuse to not give your community what it needs, because
Right.
they already have your business.
Right.
Okay, well, I just want to say thank you to our panel, Miss Charlene, Miss Caleetha, Miss Yolanda, very powerful women who just, you guys, thank you so much. I'm sure our viewers and our listeners got something out of this conversation. Thank you for tuning in to Mommy Talk. Continue to visit our website and social media platforms. Remember to love on your children and make wise decisions. Next week, we will discuss understanding your own creativity with a local mom. Everybody, please keep safe and continue to wear your mask and follow the CDC guidelines.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
So much. Bye-bye.